I'm going to ask this for the fourth time. The Democrats can vote in the general election. They can write in whoever they want. Donald Trump tried to disenfranchise 7 states in the 2020 election.
No, he didn't.
Is that
Nice
not worse?
try. No, he didn't. Nice try.
You don't have any proof.
You're saying that the majority of people wouldn't view the people who literally seceded from the Union as insurrectionists. That's what
The
you're telling me.
United States Congress sees them as United States veterans, so therefore you will
then no one's an
respect the
insurrectionist. No one could ever
Therefore,
possibly be
you will
Even when you
respect
successfully
the
secede
you
from
will
the fucking
respect
Union,
the
you're not an
Confederate
insurrectionist.
soldiers.
When I brought up the federal indictment, we said, "Oh, it's innocent until proven guilty." So my question is that do you think he was guilty of the charges in New York?
No.
No.
You know why?
You got people trying to defend her, and that's indefensible.
Exactly.
I mean, all you got to do is go back to the 1964 Civil Rights Act that say that you.
Hey, he's doing it.
Oh, hey.
Yo,
How's
He's
it
ready
going?
for me and ABC to school him.
what's up, bro?
Yep. Yeah, I'm
How
ready
you
to get
doing?
schooled. I'm doing okay.
What's up, brother? How you
I
been?
take it you're a Kamala.
I'm doing good, Parker, by the way. Yeah, I'm a
What?
Kamala Harris supporter.
Oh, okay.
Why?
So
Because we live in a 2-party system and we have to choose between 2 candidaats, and one is a bog standard politician that I disagree with sometimes, and one is an anti-American person who tried to overturn the results of the last election.
He never
through
tried to
breaking
overturn
federal
the
law.
election.
what?
Okay.
So what? Do you agree with the way that they put Kamala Harris in?
I don't know.
I mean, y'all gave her like 1% of the Democrat vote in the last election.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't want to go based off of metrics from 4 years ago because people weren't as familiar with
No,
Kamala Harris.
this midterm election.
Listen, I would love to be able to finish the sentence. That'd be awesome. We didn't have as good an idea of who Kamala Harris was as a politician prior to her serving as VP under Joe Biden. So it seems to me that the majority of people supported Joe Biden stepping down and releasing his delegates, and those delegates
He
endorsing Kamala
did, but he
Harris.
didn't step
They
down. He
support
was
the
forced to
roll
step
call
down.
that they did, in which all of the delegates voted for Kamala Harris, and it seems like the majority of the Democratic Party prefer
Nope.
Kamala Harris as a candidate over Joe Biden.
No,
Okay.
you were
Hold on a
wrong.
second,
Not all of the delegates gave the support to Kamala. The delegates. I watched the DNC when they called on the delegates of California. They said the state of California passes. Meaning they did not vote for Kamala. They passed.
Did she win the nomination?
Yes, but you said every delegate, and the
Okay, so,
delegates in
yeah,
California
so
did
she-
not
she-
vote for her.
She got the delegates' votes
Because she was
became the nominee,
installed.
and it was a popular decision. That's what I was getting at.
But Donald
you-
Trump is
but
going to
you
win.
But you took away. See, we're supposed to be a constitutional
Yep.
republic, and you took away every Democrat voter's right to choose her.
So we didn't. The primary process isn't even necessarily obligated to be a democratic process. What's important is that the people have a say in who they want to become the next president. Kamala Harris, she won the Democrats' nominee because Joe Biden dropped out late in the race, and there was no time for the primary. Donald Trump tried to subvert the results in the general election. There is
Hold on, we're talking about
there is no
we were
election
talking about
after that.
Kamala,
So
though.
he
We're
tried to
talking about Kamala,
unilaterally.
not Donald.
I know you want to talk about Kamala, but the problem is that you're equating a completely legal process that the DNC took part of to a completely illegal process that Donald Trump tried to do to rob people of their general election votes. These
So
are not
does-
the same thing.
So does just because it's legal does it make it your right?
Just because it's legal, would you agree that subverting
No.
the
Answer
process
my
of
question.
the
Answer my question without pivoting. Just because it's legal, does that make
no,
it
not
right?
necessarily, but it's
Okay,
obviously.
So if
more-
I'm a Democrat and you took away my right that Donald Trump had,
you
I'd
didn't
be
take
pissed.
away. He did.
I
he-
would be
We didn't
pissed
take away
if you
any
took
right.
away. Let me finish. If you took away my right that they gave Donald Trump, if I'm a Democrat, I would be pissed because and they did the same thing with Clinton. They did the same thing with Clinton. They stripped Bernie Sanders and they went with Clinton. And I agree it's legal. It went all the way to the Supreme Court, and they said that, let me tell you what the Supreme Court said. They said that the DNC and the RNC are corporations, and that they can choose whatever they want to do within their corporation. But if I'm looking at both corporations as to how I want them to act as me as a voter, I want them to give me a choice like every of my ancestors have had going back to the day we started voting, not
So-
to strip me of my vote.
The primary process hasn't even been established for as long as the country has been established. First of all,
I didn't
second of
say
all,
that. I said as long as we've been voting.
So every Democrat has the opportunity to vote in the general election. Donald Trump tried to disenfranchise voters in the general
Wait,
election.
actually, you're
Would you
wrong.
agree that
Actually,
that's
you're
worse?
wrong. We have been voting for our own party all the way back to the first election. You're wrong.
Nope.
Yes,
George
we
Washington
have.
wasn't
Primary
part of any
process?
party.
No, that's not correct.
I said voting for our party's candidate.
George Washington wasn't a part of any party.
Exactly.
So
Wait,
the
no,
first vote had no
that's not
party.
exactly.
So who were the first parties?
Whigs or one of
And
them.
they were really,
The Democratic Republicans.
Wait, we're losing. We're in right now.
so my point is, if you take away my right to vote because you can, because you're a corporation, as the Supreme Court said, that's not right. You know it's not right, and we know it's not right. And you can talk around it, and you can obfuscate all you want to, but the truth of the matter is, it's not what we expect in a constitutional republic.
You
You're saying that
Democrat.
I'm
You
obfuscating, but I
you
brought up the
Democrats
plot
should
first,
have-
and then you were like,
when
"Oh, how
Don-
do you feel
when
about what
Biden
Kamala Harris
dropped
did?"
out-
I brought up the initial claim. This
when
is all
Biden
first
dropped
of all.
out, when Biden dropped out, you guys should have gave other Democrats in your party a chance to try to get the people to vote for them, but you
They
didn't.
didn't want
You
to
allowed
because
them
they
to
knew
win
they would lose
candidate.
because they would lose the $1 billion that was in his coffers. And
it's
that
a
was
very
the
simple
only way
question.
that they could keep that money.
So the Democrats had the ability, or have the ability, to vote in the general election. The last election, Donald Trump tried to disenfranchise states in the general election. Is
What
that
if I
not
wanted
worse?
to vote for Hootie and the Blowfish for
You
Democrat?
can write them in. Write them in. Write
I
them
wasn't
in.
given
Do it.
that.
But
I wasn't
the
given that
question
right
is-
to do that.
This is a
I
diversion. You're
wasn't
not
given the
answering my
right
question.
to prove
You're-
that
you're
Kamala
not
Harris
answering
should
my
not.
question.
Hold on.
Is it
hold
not
on.
worse
As
to
a
meddle in the
As
general
a
election?
Democrat, I was not given the right
Donald
to
Trump
prove
never
that
meddled
Kamala
in
Harris
the
was not
general
a proper
election.
candidate
There's a
for
reason
the
you're not
Democrats.
answering this question too. There's a
Donald
reason.
There were
Trump
many
never
more
meddled
people
in
on the
the general
Democrat
election.
side that were
Nice
far
try.
better fitted for the position than Kamala
So,
Harris.
I'm gonna ask this for
and
the
all the
fourth time.
Democrats were disenfranchised.
I'm going to ask this for the fourth time. The Democrats can vote in the general election. They can write in whoever they want. Donald Trump tried to disenfranchise 7 states in the 2020 election.
No, he
Is
didn't.
that not
Nice
worse?
try. No, he didn't. Nice
You
try.
don't have any proof.
Yes, we do have
No,
proof.
you
We
don't.
have
With
the
70
fraudulent
lawsuits.
Show
certificates
it
of
to
ascertainment.
us. Show it to us.
Show it. I don't have 1,000 followers. I can't turn my camera on.
Well, tell us where to find it. What's your
J6
source?
report, the indictment, it all lays it out. You can just look
The-
up
the
fraudulent
indictment
certificate of
proved-
ascertainment.
and
Oh,
the
you-
indictment
whoa,
proved
whoa,
that
whoa,
Donald
you
Trump would
mean-
not be
you-
indicted.
whoa,
Michigan
hold on,
electors
hold on,
trying
ABC.
to enter Capitol.
Hold on,
It'll
hold on,
come up.
hold
You
on.
have
So
plenty
wait,
evidence
you're
for this.
saying the charges of insurrection that were brought against Trump that the United States Supreme Court has dismissed. They dismissed
no.
those cases against Trump.
No, okay, that's incorrect. So the
That's
charge was
not
never
incorrect.
insurrection. Let me finish.
Because
The
they
charge-
dismissed
let me
it. There
finish
was no
real quick,
insurrection.
please.
You Democrats love to claim it. It's
So
false.
please
There was
just let me
never.
finish.
If that was an insurrection, that's the first peaceful insurrection.
Listen,
I've
I'm
ever
the
fucking
only
seen.
left winger in here. You got to let me talk for like 5 fucking seconds. All right. So he was never charged with insurrection.
Why
He
do
was
him like that? Be nice.
okay. I'm sorry, host. I didn't mean it. So he was never charged with insurrection. He was charged with RICO because it was a criminal enterprise to overturn the 2020 election. That got challenged to the Supreme Court, and they said he has presumptive immunity for some acts, he has total immunity for some acts, and he has no immunity for some acts. And then there was a superseding indictment which was done in front of a new grand jury, which determined that they still had probable cause to indict him again, and that is the charge that he is facing now.
That's what
Oh,
Jack
so
Smith
it's
did right now.
it's okay. It's okay for you Democrats to weaponize our legal departments to
That's
go
not
after your
weaponization
fucking
of
political
legal.
opponents.
Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's weaponization.
You guys
A
are
grand jury-
weaponizing the justice
No, it's
department to
not.
go after
Whenever
your
you bring,
political opponents.
whenever you bring a certain set of facts in front of
Who
a grand
else
jury,
does
they have to agree
who
that you have
else
probable
does
cause.
that?
Are you saying that they
Who
bought off
else-
the jury?
Who
Are you saying
else
they
in
bought off a
history-
jury?
Hold on.
Are you saying that the
who
DOJ
who
bought off a
else in
jury?
history has weaponized the police to go after the political opponents? Oh, evil mustache man of the 1930s and 40s. Oh, Joseph Stalin of the USSR. Oh, Fidel Castro of Cuba. Oh, President Xi Jinping of China. Oh, President Vladimir Putin of Russia. Oh, President Xi Jinping. Whatever the fuck little rocket man's name is of North Korea. Dictators are the only people that oh, I forgot Mussolini. We gotta throw him in there. Dictators are the only ones that weaponize their federal police force to go after the political opponents. So what Kamala Harris and the Democrat Party is doing is exactly following in line of dictators.
Did
Not
they
Of
buy
the
out the
Italian
jury?
brown shirts.
Did they buy out the jury?
Hold on, Disney. Let him finish. Now, this is your chance to say everything you got to say. That's why I kept muting y'all so that he could finish. Now, one at a time, not both of y'all at a time, one at y'all time, decide who wants to go.
Okay, so you're alleging that the DOJ somehow bought out this grand jury to like fraudulently say that they had probable cause to re-indict. There's no evidence to that. If you want to talk about no evidence, there's no evidence that the DOJ has been weaponized to re-indict him. That's not
They
even
have
that
been.
doesn't even fit into how the
Come on,
indictment
Disney,
process
give him a
works.
chance. Give him a
Oh,
chance.
I mean-
Then we'll just let him talk himself right into a corner like they always do.
Some of them are cooperating also.
okay. So
No. I'm helping. I'm saying some of the people are actually cooperating with the DOJ and saying it happened. So they've signed agreements and they're cooperating.
and we have depositions from people that worked within the Trump White House attesting to this. We have Mike Pence attesting to this. We have people former attorney generals attesting to this. We have the electors that perjured
Yes,
themselves on the
all
certificates of
deep
ascertainment.
state, all
We have the
deep
per-
state,
we have
all
the
deep
ele-
state
we have the-
puppets,
we have
all
the- we
deep. They
have
are all
the-
deep state
have
puppets
the-
who are part of the
we
swamp and
have
have been
the-
part of the swamp for years.
Have
So
the-
why wouldn't they go after the man who's trying to drain the swamp and get rid of them out of the swamp?
He picked the swamp. Those people are people that Donald Trump picked.
Okay, whatever makes you
So
sleep at
Donald
night.
Trump picked the swamp that's coming for him.
Whatever help you sleep at night.
Donald
The fact
Trump,
is, if you vote for Kamala Harris,
you're claiming that
you
this
are
is all
not.
a deep
You
state.
are not
you're
an
claiming that
American.
This is all a deep state.
If you vote
swamp
for
plot
Kamala
to go
Harris,
get-
you are
go
not
get
an
Donald Trump. Donald
American.
Trump picked
You
the
are
swamp.
a traitor, and you need to pack your bags and get the hell out of my country.
You're supporting an insurrectionist. It's hilarious that you call me a traitor. So Donald Trump picked the swamp that's now testifying against him. So I don't.
Okay, so first of all, when he's convicted as what you said, then you can use that. But until then, lay off the term.
Shut the hell up.
Exactly.
When you have a conviction and he's in prison for it, then you come back and use that term. But until then, you can't use it because he's not been convicted for it. So just lay off the term. You are literally trying to
Yes, this is why you can't
defame
do this
somebody's-
because
defame
you are
somebody's-
losing.
Has
defame
anyone
somebody's.
has anyone in U.S. history been convicted with insurrection? Even in the Civil War?
No, because during the Civil War, if you knew your history, the Union, Abraham Lincoln and the Union wanted to go after the southern states for secession, but they didn't. They released all of the top generals and the Confederate vice president and president from prison because they knew that if they charged these people with insurrection and since at the time.
Those guys not insurrectionists?
Okay, first of all, the insurrection failed. meaning the term insurrection in court failed. Nobody was indicted for insurrection. Insurrection, they said,
No one
was
in U.S. history
all
has
right.
been.
I'm about to mute you again. I'm talking. I'll let you talk. Now let me talk. Okay. So they tried to use insurrection, and insurrection was used as Disney said during the Civil War. It was only used for high-ranking positions of power in order to keep them from running again because they were afraid that they were going to try to start another war. So this did not fall under the guise of insurrection. That was proven in court. So they dropped that wording. So you need to drop it because there's nothing out there anymore.
So
Well,
he
I
was
know
never-
Democrats won't drop it because they love
It's a good soundbite. You're
that
right.
claim was not dropped in court.
It was
never
dropped.
taken
It
to court.
was.
It was
It
never
was dropped.
taken to court. It was never taken to court. It
Yes,
was not
it
dropped
was-
from court
well,
because it was never taken for
Yeah,
to court.
because it
So,
failed.
Second of all,
It failed
what happened
because
to letting each other finish? So
well, it failed.
that was never dropped from court because it was never entered into court.
Well, you know
The
what
reason
that
I
means.
brought up,
It-
okay. The reason I brought up that no one in the Civil War was charged with insurrectionists or with. The reason I brought up that no one in the Civil War was even charged with insurrection is because we still.
Who's doing that to him?
It's hilarious. It's really funny. So
Unless Rob is in here doing this to him. Optimus Rob loves doing that to people.
it's hilarious. I love what it's so tolerant. So no one in the Civil War was charged with insurrection, but we still call those people insurrectionists. That's the point that I'm making.
Actually, no, you don't, because if you knew your history, I can't remember the exact date, but the U.S. Congress actually passed a bill to recognize soldiers of the Confederacy as United States veterans.
You're saying that the majority of people wouldn't view the people who literally seceded from the Union as insurrectionists. That's what
The
you're telling me.
United States Congress sees them as United States veterans, so therefore you
Okay,
will
then no one's an
respect
insurrectionist. No one could ever
Therefore,
possibly be
you
an
will
insurrectionist.
respect
Even when you successfully secede from the fucking Union,
the
you're not an
Confederate
insurrectionist.
soldiers. You will respect the Confederate soldiers because the United
Hey,
States
Disney,
Congress
hold on
passed
one
the
second.
law. The
Disney,
United
Disney,
States
hold on.
Congress passed the law recognizing them as United States veterans.
Disney, hold on 1 second for me.
They keep muting
That's
me.
why
This
I'm
is
muting.
fucking ridiculous.
Because he wants
This
to be
is
heard,
no
but he
one
wants to
sees the
interrupt.
term like
So,
this.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, he just knows that I'm giving him facts from
What are you
history,
talking about?
and he's mad.
All right.
You guys are mad because
Hold on. Let's give somebody else a chance. Brad seemed like he wanted to talk a while ago, so go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I guess the whole thing though, this whole argument stemmed from you saying that there was they were stopping democracy from going because of the way that Kamala Harris got on the
No,
Democratic.
I intentionally did not say the word democracy. We're not a democracy.
we're not a democracy.
Yeah, that's not even an argument we need to get into. But either way,
Well,
So
it's the
she-
truth. We're not a
I swear,
democracy.
I
people
responded
won't
because you
refuse to
directly
call
threw
us
out
a
something I didn't
democracy
say.
because it sounds like
but the point is, you
That's
were
the only
saying
reason
that the
why they
process
prefer
for which Kamala Harris ended up on the
constitutional
ticket somehow robbed the democratic process of the party, right? Within, you were worried about the rules of the party. There's literally nothing that concerns you about the
Because
the
us
electors. Okay.
Republicans
Are we
chose.
interrupting each other? Is that what we're doing?
Hold on. Let him finish, Disney. I want to hear him out.
So there's nothing about the elector thing, the elector scheme,
I need
that
to
gives
bring
you
that
any
up way
pause
more.
when people that are involved in it have
Oh my
admitted
God.
wrongdoing.
Dude, Chesborough
It's
pled
currently
guilty.
being processed under trial.
Look, focus. We're talking about Kamala Harris. We're not talking about somebody else. We're talking about Kamala. I know y'all like to do that, but focus.
No. We were talking.
No.
how is there
Yes.
not an
Yes.
equivalency?
We're talking about Kamala when we said
No,
it.
that's not true. I brought up the claim initially, and you said, "Oh, well, how does?"
Okay, first of all, we didn't ask you to speak. We were talking to him. We told you had plenty of time. Now it's his turn.
Now,
But I'm just wondering, like, for all the leaps you have to make on pure faith that say that the grand jury's rigged, that the people that admitted wrongdoing are lying, they were appointed by Trump, like all that.
I didn't
that's-
say that. You're making
that's
up
the
claims I
basis-
never said.
To dismiss it, you have to actually say that
Wait,
until they're found
hold on.
guilty.
Let's be clear what you're talking about. Dismiss what?
The charges that are currently in process for the fake elector scheme.
I'm saying no. I didn't say that either. I
You
said
said you
he's
can't
not
bring up
spent a
informal
minute in
traitor.
jail. He's not been convicted, and he's not been tried and found guilty on those charges. And I
So-
said innocent until proven guilty. Would you disagree with innocent until proven guilty?
I would, but when you were looking at an election,
You would disagree on innocent until proven guilty.
Can I ask a question real quick?
No.
All right. So my point. No, we're having a. Who said that?
Hold on, you can go next.
All right. So all I'm saying is we were talking about the process that took place with Kamala, and what I can't stand. Look, my family was a Democrat going all the way back to the
There's not a single thing,
1930s. I
no
have
matter how
handwritten
much they
letters
pretend like they're
to my-
independent or
you know,
actually
from- to
Democrat.
my,
There's
you
not
know,
a single thing that you
grandfather
could tell them
from LBJ
that would make them vote
when he
against
was
Donald
in the
Trump. It's a
Senate
cult.
in
It's a cult.
Texas. So I'm telling you now, none of those old Democrats would have ever have gone for what happened with Kamala Harris.
No, they would not.
So you think
Can I jump in on this?
Well, no, hold on, real quick.
Hold
You
on,
think
let
the
him fit-
Republicans?
let-
Hold on,
Brad
you
finish
can
his
go
argument out,
after
and we
Brad
can-
finishes. You can go.
I
Go
guess
ahead,
the
Brad.
problem is the inequity in which you're looking through your lenses. To say something like that while the party of free trade is proposing tariffs is pretty rich. There's no scrutiny. It's like whatever.
Stick to the
whatever
subject, Brad. Stick to the subject.
No,
Do
I
you
kinda-
think
I
that
am.
let's say you're a Republican and somebody installed Donald Trump instead of you having a chance to decide whether Donald Trump was in there, would you be pissed or not?
Yeah, because that's my
Okay,
boss.
that's all we
I'm-
were trying to say. That's all we were trying to say.
But that's what they tried to do, and I'm in the military, right? So it really matters to me who's the commander in chief, who can declare war, and who, well, they can start it and then Congress can declare. You know how it works.
But you keep going back. You keep going back to a previous election. We're talking about this election,
and I am. You guys
and
are
all we're
worried-
saying is that they should not have given. Even the liberal news agrees with what I'm saying. At the time when it happened, they were turning on Kamala not because of her at the time, but because of the process.
Well, and also, I want to point out because I also served, and I was told that while you're in uniform, you are not to speak about politics.
Well, that's why
you are
you're in
incorrect.
uniform, not while you're serving.
That's a Hatch Act violation or whatever. But that's not actually accurate at all. I've been in 19 years. So no, I'm just saying in general, when you look at the things that are concerning you about Kamala Harris are somehow rising to a level of inequity. It's such a serious travesty, but you all
It
seem
gives
to
the
be
appearance that
completely-
somebody was put in and that there could be somebody else. Look, we just went through 4 years of her knowing and the people around Joe Biden knowing that he was in mental decline. They didn't do the 25th because they knew it would make the party look bad. Then they installed.
But they don't care
who
at
they
all
want
about
to.
literally
That starts
disenfranchising
looking
votes
like a coup.
in the
If you've been
general
in the
election.
military
They
for
only care
19
about
years,
how
I hope
the
you're a-
inner
I hope
mechanisms
you're an
of the
operator
primary
to where
process
you
and the
understand
DNC.
what I'm talking
What
about.
sense does that
ultimately.
make?
This is the kind of stuff that we intentionally start in other countries to take those countries down that are dangerous.
So
And
so
there's been
how is that?
involvement-
Listen, this is my point, and I'm done. How is that concerning? And you're like, it's a coup, but a guy who tried to actually rig the last election with fake electors is not a coup. Make it make
Ask them
sense.
to that nobody came in and actually did it by four. Now, would
they
I have
did.
done J6 the way it was done? Hell no. If I was there, I would have never breached the fence. But at the same time, and I say but not to take away what I just said. I know that's what that normally means, but I'm not taking away from that. I wouldn't have been there doing that. But I know they have a right to peacefully protest. That's what Trump told them to go do. That's where he ended at. Everything else that took place. Did he like it? No. Was he pushing for it? Yes. Did he have a right to push for it? Yes.
What?
Just
I
like
guess-
Hillary Clinton pushed for it, and just like in 2000, Al
Al
Gore
Gore did
pushed
as
for
well.
it when he lost to George W.
I would
Al
say
Gore
a
had
slight
his
false
election stolen.
equivalency, guys. Come on.
There was no
And I would
proof
ar-
that
and I
Al
would
Gore-
argue
there was
that
no proof
the- I
Al
would
Gore
argue
had
that
his
the
election
five-
stolen.
I would
Can I
argue
please-
that in damage was far greater than the 1 million done at the Capitol when they took over, cities, and they took over capitals.
The red
Do you
herring.
remember Occupy Wall Street when they
That's-
took over 30 state capitals? Do you remember that?
You think those were you have evidence
We
that
are
those,
the
those are
United
Democratic
States
voters?
of America. Those capitals are just as valuable as the U.S. Capitol.
And what
My
about you
speak on the
guys?
Harris
Wait,
process. I've been
another
patient.
time. Hold on. This is the host.
I've been
been
holding
waiting to
on
speak
for
with
10, 20 minutes.
Well, this is the host real quick. Also, you guys love to mention J6, how it was a violent riot. It's so bad. But yet, when you Democrats decided to riot and burn down cities and police stations and attack cops back during the Summer of Love,
Holy
during
shit,
the
unhinged.
George Floyd's "I Can't Breathe" riots, that was fucking okay.
That wasn't a Democratic Party doing it. It was people. They
It
weren't
was
associated
leftists
with the
doing
Democratic
it.
Party.
You guys
Republicans
said that
are
was
doing it, I
okay.
promise you that.
You got your party
Brad,
said
don't
that
go
was
there.
okay
It's
because
just a
those
red
were
herring.
peaceful protests. But January 6th is an
I
insurrection.
didn't bring up January 6th for context too. So you people like to bring it up. You can't remember what happened 30 seconds ago. That's not the way it went down.
Funny how y'all couldn't remember the Occupy Wall Street or the.
I remember it.
I'm sorry, George Floyd was a criminal. He shouldn't have been resisting arrest.
Can we let Art go? Because he's been waiting for so long, and I want to talk so bad, but I can't. I don't want to cut him off. So can we please
Yeah,
let
well,
him
good
talk?
to bow out.
if Brad
Go
wants
ahead,
to pass the torch to him, or you,
I'm
Brad,
good
you
to
want to
bow
pass
out.
the torch, or you still want to talk some more?
Go ahead, Og.
No. Well, that's fine. I'm good to bow out. I mean, I know.
No, you don't have to. I'm asking you literally to. That's your choice.
Rinyal was doing a good job. I just felt he was a little outnumbered and getting over talked. But I thought,
Well, it's three of y'all and only two of us talking.
yeah, well, time over numbers, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
Just
true,
felt like
true.
And one of my moderators doesn't give two flying fucks about either political party.
okay, but
That's me, by the way. Bye bye.
Yeah, that's Parker.
yeah, have a good night, guys. But
Look, all we're saying is we want a fair system
Yep.
on both sides. I don't want to see that on the Republican side. If they did that on the Republican side, I would be pissed.
No, you wouldn't,
Exactly.
because
I
they
would
didn't.
be
The heck
too.
I wouldn't.
Just to be clear.
The heck I wouldn't.
Shut up. That was the host speaking. But go ahead.
That was Raynard. Raynard was talking to you.
Let Art go, because he's been waiting so patiently. I'm being rude, but let him go.
Yeah, it's RQ. Sorry,
Go
my
on,
name's Dom.
Akio.
I created it when I was 13, and for some reason I kept it. So, anyways, so I didn't hear it. Whatever. To ABC, your comment about being pissed. It is.
Oh, okay,
very
Mike. You
frustrating.
want to talk about pew-pewing people in my live? You can go bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
No,
they
it's a
wouldn't
guy
talk
in the
either.
comments. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. The Democratic Party has been very establishment, and they've done a lot to prevent the left wing of the party gaining much power. The centrists, the conservatives in the party have maintained power through, like, when Bernie was running. You brought this up a long time ago. It was the superdelegates that occurred in the DNC that swayed the vote. There were a bunch of people who Bernie was gaining traction, and they all got afraid that Bernie was gaining power. The same thing happened, I think it was after he won the Nevada caucuses, that Warren dropped out and Buttigieg dropped out. And then it was the senator from South Carolina who supported Biden, and Biden won South Carolina, and that's how he got the nomination. So there definitely has been the Democratic machinations moving to make sure that the candidate that the Democrats put forward is a conservative. The Democrats have put forward conservatives for since the embarrassment of Jimmy Carter. The Democrats haven't been willing to put forward a left-wing candidate. And so we keep getting people who do not excite the left part of the Democratic base, but instead they excite the centrists or those who have power. And it's super frustrating for somebody like me who thinks that the conservative position, the fiscally conservative position for healthcare is going to be Medicare for all. And that's not my numbers, that's the Koch brothers numbers. So ABC, you were talking about this. It really stinks that nobody who could have actually opposed Biden hopped into the primary. Because let's be real, there was a primary. Was it anything very good? No. But there was Dean Phillips, there was Marianne Williamson, there was Cenk Uygur, there was a couple others who tried to primary Biden because they thought that he was too weak, he was too old, and there was a whole process to try to remove him. But it was way too late before other people in the party finally got to him. Harris is probably a pretty bad candidate for the Democrats to run. If the Republicans
she's extremely bad because she's losing right now.
Nah, she's going to win. It'll be a victory. I mean, we won't know this till election day, but the signs are all pointing that she's going to win. And Trump has alienated so many people.
She's only gonna win if the Democrats cheat and place her.
No, don't go into cheating. That's just a bad argument. That's a
I
loser
just put
argument.
1,000 ballots in for Kamala.
Because Donald Trump is going to wipe the floor with Kamala Harris.
That might be how you feel, but
especially after this, especially after Hurricane Helene. And that really shows that Kamala Harris does not give two flying fucks about the American people. Because while the people in North Carolina was suffering, while the people in North Carolina was suffering after this hurricane, where was Kamala Harris? She was in California saying, give me money, I need your money for my campaign, give me money.
You live in North Carolina?
Where was Donald Trump? He was down in North Carolina, boots on the motherfucking ground.
Kamala was in North Carolina too. Hey, host, can I ask something real quick?
Yep.
When was the last time Republicans won the popular vote?
Oh, that's
popular vote does not get the popular vote does not fucking matter.
It's reflective on if the country likes it or
Popular
not.
vote does not fucking matter. Popular vote does not elect the fucking president.
Well, it's reflective on if the country
Democrats
likes
need to
it or
stop
not.
putting up the popular vote. Popular vote.
Yeah, who cares about somebody winning the most votes, right?
Popular vote means absolutely jack shit.
Disney, hold on just a second. The conversation you were having with Archie was good. I would continue down that one.
Well, now I can't remember after they brought the popular vote thing up.
He was talking. You know, he didn't get to finish what he was saying. I'd like to hear him all the way out, if you don't mind.
Yep.
I think he was. All right. So if you forgot where you were at, Archie.
No, I didn't forget.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I get annoyed at the various rabbit trails people chase, because I get it's hard to keep a consistent line of thought going, but the most frustrating thing for me as somebody who will never vote for Trump, there's nothing. Oh, and I won't vote for Republicans. I think they've destroyed I think they're terrible in the economy. Reagan was the worst president in American history. That's a tangent. Sorry, I went down the wrong tangent. But as somebody who is pretty far left, I do not like Harris. I'll still vote for her, but I do not like her. What's frustrating to me is that we had, if Tim Walz were on the top of the ticket, he would be crushing. If Gretchen Whitmer was on the top of the ticket,
you mean stolen valor, Tim? No, he won't.
Oh, do you have anything that's not just like a talking point? Like that's just like Tim Walz is.
He lied about his fucking rank in the Army National Guard.
He did not. He didn't.
Yes, he did. The Minnesota National Guard said the Minnesota Army National Guard said when he got out of the guard.
It's a tangent that's irrelevant.
No. The Minnesota Army National Guard said when Tim Walz got out of the Army, he was a master sergeant. He never finished putting forth the paperwork to get his promotion to command sergeant major. So therefore, since he never finished putting in that paperwork, he got out as a master sergeant. So for him running around claiming he was a command sergeant major is a fucking lie. It
You've
is
already
stolen
said that.
fucking valor.
Well,
He never
what's
earned
worse-
the rank. He never wore the rank of a command sergeant major. He is a liar. He is a fraud. He is stolen valor.
Just
Nate,
yeah.
you got a
Now,
lot of
just to
pain.
ride off of that, what he just said there, and I'll make this very quick so y'all can have it back again. Do you know what? Well, I'll just tell you. Stolen valor is when you claim to be in a theater of war and you were never there. He did that, and that is actually a crime.
So technically, Tim Walsh should be
until proven guilty.
in prison right now.
I thought it was innocent until proven guilty.
They have all the evidence. They should be bringing him up on charges.
But they didn't. So I thought he was.
I
innocent.
said,
thought it was
I
innocent
said
until
he
proven
would
guilty.
be, he would be a criminal. You can be a criminal, get charged. And what I said was it was against the law, actually. So
Yeah. Well,
I just can I ask one more question and then I'm literally leaving.
I know
So-
you're not defending stolen valor, right? If you
No,
are,
I'm
I'll
not.
put you in
I
a
just-
second.
I was just
So
wondering.
I'll just answer,
Can
no,
I
you're
finish my
not
point?
defending stolen
Yeah,
valor.
yeah, you can finish it. But I just
Thank you.
just want to make sure I have my hat.
yeah,
in, 'cause
I got
know
you. I
what
got you. That was an aside. I was just saying Harris is a bad candidate, and I was saying Tim Walz. I think he would do better. That was not the main. Tim Walz doing better was not the argument I was trying to make. It was just
Yeah,
evidence
I
propping
was
up.
telling you that he would not do better. He would actually be
Yeah,
doing much
which
worse
you-
than Kamala.
Do you understand a line of argument, man? Like I'm building a case. Okay? Like you have to follow the steps of logic without getting distracted by whatever's shiny. But
Well, hold on now. To be
Sorry,
fair,
no, I'm
before
leaving.
he
I
said that,
cannot
you took him
handle
off.
the
You took it
interruptions.
off onto something else.
So what I was saying though is nobody chose during the primary process to challenge Joe Biden. There were many governors, there were many senators who could have, but they did not choose to do so. There was a primary process. Was it ideal? No. Was it something that I would like? No. But it is not stealing an election. It is not usurping democracy. People could still choose to vote for Jill Stein if they like to. I lived in North Carolina for 7 years. I'm now living in Michigan. Michigan might switch to Trump because Jill Stein is stealing voters from Harris because of Harris's position on Israel. And so a bunch of people from the Detroit area may end up voting for Jill Stein because she's a friend with Putin. And for some reason, he loves messing with our elections. I mean,
So let me ask you a question real quick
Oh
before
my
you go on.
God. Russia
is-
never messed with the 2016 election.
Is
I didn't say
Jill
that.
Stein on the ticket?
Jill Stein is on the ticket.
Okay. So
As
are
a-
you telling me that you would vote? You're going to vote for Jill Stein?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm saying I have on my ballot at least 4 choices for president. So when it comes to who I get to choose for president, I have choice. When it comes to the primary process, I voted in the undecided when the Michigan primary happened. I did not vote for Joe Biden as an option. I would have never voted for Harris as an option because I think she's a very weak candidate. But
And she's going to lose. That's why she's going to lose.
Listen, you may feel that way.
I know
And-
that way. She is going to
You
lose.
can't know a future reality. You can feel that way, but the numbers numbers do not reveal that. The Democrats have a
Polls do
300,000
not matter.
vote.
Polls do not
I'm not
fucking matter.
talking about polls. I didn't talk about polls.
The polls do not poll
I didn't
everybody in
mention
the whole
polls.
entire fucking country. They poll a small number of people.
I know how polls work. I have a degree in political science.
But therefore,
I was
polls don't
talking
matter.
about
the numbers don't
pre-vote,
matter.
the early voting that's happening in Pennsylvania. If the Democrats get a 400,000 vote lead, they've already got a 300,000 vote lead in Pennsylvania. That will be
Democrats
nearly
have been known
insurmountable.
for voting early. They always have been.
Yes, but the Republicans are voting
And
early
Republicans
too
are known for voting on
Exactly, like
election
me.
day.
I know.
New York early voting starts next week.
New York doesn't matter in an election.
So what you have to look at is
I'm
how
trying
much
to
of
make
an
a point
increase
here.
was.
New
Pennsylvania's
York
for
early voting
Trump.
starts next week.
So what you have to
it
look at
starts
is
next
how
week.
much of an
And
increase
only,
was there of
and only
Republicans
the
voting early.
Democrats vote. Only the Democrats in New York vote early. A little bit of Republicans still, but it's mainly Democrats in the state of New York to vote early. In my county, us Republicans wait until election day when our founding fathers actually said to vote. Our founding fathers did not say, "Oh yeah, vote early, vote early." No, our founding fathers set up November 5th as election day. So that's when us
They
Republicans
didn't
wait
set
to
up
vote.
November 5th as the
It's
election day.
day.
They set up the first Tuesday in November. It's not always November 5th.
All right, we're splitting hairs. You know what he meant.
Oh, can I mention something?
but
The
he
bottom
has a
line
lot of
is, if
factual
you look at
errors.
the increase
Can I
in
mention
votes,
something that Ark said?
I'm out.
hold on,
Right now-
hold on. I think I was still talking, so just hold on. So, what you look at is there an increase in Republican early voting? And the answer is yes. And that means that the chances are that more people who have not voted before are going to vote this time. So
Potentially.
the Democrats are
and
very.
also in the state of Pennsylvania, the Amish who don't like to vote in our elections are showing their support to Donald Trump by putting Trump flags on their buggies and are saying that their community is going to vote for the first time in Amish history in the state of Pennsylvania. And if that happens, Kamala Harris is fucked in the state of Pennsylvania.
No, it's going to happen because I'm from Pennsylvania.
Isn't Pennsylvania very pro-union?
Yes.
And didn't Trump say that strikers should be fired?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, I want to add real
Musk
quick.
for breaking up.
And isn't
unions.
Pennsylvania isn't Pennsylvania pro fracking? And didn't Kamala Harris say that she would ban fracking?
And
Yes.
she's changed her position on
Yes,
that.
she did.
Oh, in early voting,
He's changed
Kamala's
their
up.
position on everything.
In
Oh,
early
yeah, so
voting,
she's a
Kamala's up
flip-flopper.
500,000 votes. I just wanted to add that to what Ark said. She's up 500,000 votes as of yesterday.
You cannot just say, "Oh, she's up 500 votes by early voting," because guess what? Not everybody in the state of Pennsylvania has voted. You still got the people in the state of Pennsylvania who refuse to vote until election day.
Most voters
that's
in Pennsylvania are registered Democrats.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
You want to bet money?
Trust me, I live in Pennsylvania, son.
You want to bet
So do
money?
I. They're all Democrat.
Like,
See, that's
out
not
of
very
the-
helpful. Okay, can I please
Funny
ask
that
my
it's
question?
Poland as a red state right now.
Can I please ask
Exactly.
my question? I need to leave.
Go ahead, ask the
I'm
question.
out too.
Okay, so
Oh, you guys are both
When
going
I
to
brought
run
up-
away. You guys are
when I
getting
brought up-
destroyed.
when I brought up the
You're a
federal
bad host.
federal
Of course we're
indictment,
leaving.
when I brought up the federal indictment, we said, "Oh, it's innocent until proven guilty." So my question is that do you think he was guilty of the charges in New York?
No.
No.
You know why? Because
Okay,
I
so-
live in the state. Hold on, I live in the state of New York, and our state law in our state constitution, we have a statute of limitation, meaning you cannot be charged for a crime if it's past so many years of that said crime happening. And guess what? Our lovely governor and our lovely attorney general, who's now being indicted, by the way, did. They broke
says a lot.
New York state law to go after Trump. So therefore, the attorney general of our state got indicted, and therefore our lovely governor, Kathy Trashel, should be impeached and removed from office.
So here's the point that I was making by asking that, is that it always feels like there's a defense that no one actually believes. So I'm like, "Oh, well, we have a ton of evidence that Trump did this," and they were like, "Oh, what's the evidence?" I say, "Oh, he got indicted." Then you say, "Oh, innocent until proven guilty," but except for in New York where he was found guilty, he's actually not guilty there. Like, you guys actually don't believe
hold on,
any of
what
the
is he?
clarifications
Hold on,
that you
just
make
a
to my
second, give me a
claims.
second,
You're just
Disney.
throwing out shit, hoping that I
No,
don't
no,
know
no.
the facts
Listen
I'm
to me.
tracking up.
Which case are
This
you
is
referring to?
this is why I didn't want to come in here. Is because I get
Yeah,
so
Again,
triggered.
New York
I
case.
just proved
hold
you
on,
wrong.
Disney. Hold on. What case are you
Yeah,
talking
you guys
about?
The one that he was found
Disney,
guilty
Disney,
of.
give me just a
34
second, please.
felonies.
With
baby.
34 felonies. He was found guilty by a jury.
Okay, now let me answer without you interrupting. Okay. That 34. Did you see Did you see where it went to the appellate court, where they were in front of 5 judges, and it ended with the prosecutor begging the judges not to have them admonished, and there's a legal term for it, and I can't remember
You are
what it's called
arguing
now.
against innocent
But
until
it
proven
means
guilty
that
right now.
they could actually be I asked you not to interrupt. I didn't interrupt you. Which means they can be disbarred for what they did.
Yep.
So it's not Trump on trial now. It's going to be the prosecutor and her staff on trial.
I think it's hilarious that I say, oh, he was indicted on this, and then you say, oh, was he found
and
guilty?
what-
And I
and
say,
what-
And
no,
I'm
not
saying
yet.
that
And then
we
in a
have
case
a
where he was found
process in
guilty,
this
you guys can
country
make excuses.
called
Okay,
an
that's
And what did
appeal,
all.
I?
and he
What did
won-
I? You don't
won
even
the
live
appeal.
in the state of fucking New York, so you don't know our state law. They broke.
Can I ask?
I can't believe there's double standards in the Trump supporter community. That's so crazy.